I'm going to look back at this and just laugh one day, okay? Take 287. I don't know what's going on anymore. All right. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the very first episode of the Sport Psych Lab Podcast, or the SP Lab for short. I'm your host, Joshanth Jeyaratnam, and I just want to start by saying thank you to those of you that are watching on YouTube, and thank you to those of you that are listening on Spotify as well. So usually this podcast is going to be a interview format podcast, but today it's just me. It's going to be a shorter episode, I think. We're going to be talking about me. We're going to be talking about myself, my background in sports psychology, why I started the podcast, what to expect on this podcast, and where you can find little clips and where you can find the full recording of the podcast as well later on. We'll get into that. We'll get into all of that right now. So a little bit about myself. I've just started a master's in sport and performance psychology at California Baptist University here in Southern California. So my background in sports, I started playing hockey since I was 3 years old, and I played soccer, I played baseball, I played basketball. I still play golf now, kind of competitively, kind of not. But I've always been fascinated with the mental side of sport, specifically in golf and hockey mainly. Those are my two main sports now. I've always been fascinated with that aspect of sport in particular, and that's my focus, and that's what I want my focus to be in. But in performance psychology, we look at first responders, we look at athletes, we look at musicians, anyone who's performing. So chances are you are someone that performs. If you're a student, if you're a businessman, you are someone that performs. And I think that's very, very fascinating that this field applies to so many people in so many different ways. And my passion for this field that's what led me to create this podcast. And I'm someone that loves to challenge myself and get out of my comfort zone. And I hope one day I can confidently say that being out of my comfort zone is my comfort zone, and that's my goal. I'm just hungry to learn. I'm hungry for information. I'm hungry for opportunity. And I think starting this podcast is definitely going to help suppress that appetite. So I'm really excited. I have no idea what I'm doing, so bear with me. I'm very excited to move forward. So this podcast, it's going to be focused on, I'm going to be starting with just interviewing people that are professionals, people that are in the field, CMPCs, which are, if you don't know what that means, it's certified mental performance consultants that I want to interview. A lot of my episodes, they're just going to be about 20 minutes long, more or less 20 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes more, 5 minutes less, around there. So very short episodes. The whole goal is to provide insight into what the field is, and talk to CMPCs about their experiences, any insights they have. And eventually, I hope this podcast will evolve into something where once I am a CMPC, I can interview my own clients that are athletes as well. So I'm very excited. I'm I'm just super excited. I don't know what this podcast could turn into. I don't know who I'm going to be interviewing, but nonetheless, I'm scared, but I'm also excited to see what happens. So expect a new episode on the 1st of every single month, and if it's not out on the 1st of every month, hopefully it's out on the 2nd of every month. But it's getting kind of hectic, kind of busy. So once again, bear with me. Kind of new to this. And if you want to watch any clips from this podcast, you can check it out on Instagram.com/The Sport Psych Lab. You can check it out on Facebook.com/The Sport Psych Lab and YouTube.com/The Sport Psych Lab. If you want to see the full video of this podcast, that'll be available on YouTube. And I believe you can now put videos on Spotify. So if that works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But otherwise, if you want to just listen while you're doing the dishes or while you're on a car ride, you can listen. You can listen to these episodes on Spotify. I'm gonna try and get these episodes available on iTunes as well and Google. But for now, you'll just have to bear with Spotify. But yeah, I hope you're excited as I am. I hope people are interested in learning about what sports psychology really is. And maybe you're in the same boat as me and you're also pursuing this career, or maybe you're thinking about pursuing this career. So that's kind of the target audience. And I think that's all I have for this. It's really brief, really short episode, little intro episode. But I hope you guys enjoy. And I will see you guys next month. Thank you.